Welcome to the DoubleACS Daily News for March 21st, 2016. Those interested in getting a new perspective on U.S. history had an opportunity to do so late last week in North Attleboro. Historian and Stonehill College professor Dr. Gary L. Hylander gave an hour-long talk at the Richards Memorial Library on the westward expansion of the United States. The talk is the first of three, and to learn more, we spoke with him about the presentation.
I have a PhD from Boston College in American history, what a surprise, and also in American government. And what I do is that I work at Stonehill College, or I'm beginning to retire out, and the golden parachute, and take the money and run. And what I've been doing for the last 5 or 6, even maybe almost 10 years, is going out and giving presentations at veterans groups, Rotary groups, libraries, the North Attleboro Public Library, talking about topics in American history. In this case, and I know specifically Maggie Holmes likes me to come in and to do a series. And the last time I was here, right before Christmas, I did a 3-part series on Jefferson and Jackson. And then it came from the group, somebody mentioned, what about a series on the West? Or what about a series on American expansionism, American territorial growth? And I said, boy, that's a great piece, and we can fill the map. This is why I have the map behind me. And we can talk about America heading west from Plymouth Rock to the Rock at Alcatraz, and to fill in the story there, and to talk about the West, not only as a piece of geography, but also as a symbol, a figment of the American mind. The poet Robert Frost, when he delivered the poem at the Kennedy inaugural, he delivered a poem called The Gift Outright. And what he was talking about was the land. And he opened up this poem by saying the land was ours before we were the land's. In other words, we had it, manifest destiny, WASP America. And of course what he overlooked, and this is 1961, and he overlooked the fact there were Native Americans there were Spanish there, that there were obviously hundreds of thousands of Indians, but it's 1961. We're not thinking in those multicultural ways yet. So the land was ours, Frost said, before we were the land's, that we had possessed, we were not possessed by, and that is going west and taking the land in a very Eurocentric way, developing it. So that's our story for the next 3 weeks. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to close the story down in 1900, roughly the end of the frontier. And then with the end of the frontier in 1900, what's the next frontier? And that will be a look at expansion in the Pacific, into the Philippines, grabbing the Hawaiian Islands, and opening up trade to American merchants. And that is John Hay and the open door policy. So what I'm trying to do in 3 streamlined lectures, I don't like to call them lectures, I like to call them conversations. In 3 streamlined conversations to pack in the West from Plymouth Rock to Framingham to Worcester to San Francisco, the Hawaiian Islands, and then the open door policy in China. So come back in 2 weeks, and we'll do part 2, we'll do part 3, and then we'll look for another 3-part series.
That concludes today's update. For DoubleACS News, I'm Austin Ricketts.